Action. What's up, guys? Welcome in. This is the Be More podcast. We're with Coach Kyle here. Coach Kyle, if you don't know, is the, what do they call it? The big man on campus?
BMOC.
BMOC. Coach Kyle's here. He's rocking with us. We're going to talk a little bit about Kyle. Just about stepping into coaching role here at CrossFit Loveland, what that means to you, kind of get a background, kind of where you're from, what you do, all the good stuff. So first off, congratulations.
Thanks.
On graduating.
I appreciate it.
You made it.
It was a grind.
It was a grind, yeah. To deal with me.
Yeah,
to deal with
the
me
instructor was...
with micromanaging for 9 weeks, dude.
Come on, dude.
Dude, it was rough.
It was awesome.
It was rough. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
It's great.
It was great, and honestly, it was even great to see you, kind of like we talked about on your I don't know what it was. It's not an exit interview, but like on your last day, your last eval or whatever.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see you evolve as an individual, just to see you sort of evolve just from day one when you started coaching, even on the last 3 weeks, to how comfortable you were with the flow of class, with the members, even connecting. And you're introverted, so you say.
I'm an extroverted introvert.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good way to explain it.
Yeah.
But yeah, even just kind of stepping into that, I'm extroverted, so it's easy for me, right? But
yeah.
I can understand how it could be difficult for someone like you.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it was great. So I appreciated it.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So, tell me really quick, where are you from?
So originally, I'm from Boston.
Yep.
So I was born in Boston. I moved out here when I was 4, so I consider myself a local. But my dad always lived back in Boston, so I have pretty strong Boston sports ties. I get a lot of heat from people around here about that, but that's okay.
At least you're wearing a Tom Brady bandwagoner,
What do you mean?
Like, once they started winning Super Bowls, everyone was like, I'm a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
No one was a Patriots fan before Tom Brady. Very little.
Dude, the Bledsoe days weren't too bad, man.
They weren't bad, dude.
Yeah, they weren't good.
I like Drew Bledsoe, too.
Yeah,
he was
good.
a gangster.
He was good.
Anyway, sorry, carry on.
No, you're good. I moved out here when I was 4, and I grew up in Longmont. I went to Longmont High School. I graduated in 2007. And after I graduated high school, I traveled around the country and played junior ice hockey. So I didn't go straight to college. I played mostly up in northern Wyoming, as well as St. Cloud, Minnesota, and then up in Vancouver, British Columbia as well.
How was that next level of hockey? Especially going to like Canada and like Minnesota and stuff, because they're like, that's like Texas football.
Nasty.
Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have all the competitive youth leagues around here. You have high school, and then there's usually not that straight jump to college. There's an intermediate called juniors, and you have different tiers through here. And that's what I did. I played up in juniors right before I went up to college.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you miss hockey?
I do, but I play once a week in a men's league down in Westminster.
That's right.
With some buddies, so
right.
It's a good excuse just to go move around, drink beer.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's and I feel something like that's really neat and unique. Like I played football. I could do flag football, but it's not the same, dude.
Not the
It's
same,
not
buddy.
the same. I didn't I got through football because of like after contact, right? Like I would get hit or I would use my blockers to sort of weave in and out, and you can't really do that flag football. You can't block flag football in some leagues, In the full contact leagues, bro.
No, thank you.
Oh, no, dude.
Well, same with hockey. I mean, now in men's league, it's non-contact.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
you can rub
gotcha.
each other out. They do have those full contact leagues. No way, dude.
No.
I gotta wake up and go to work the next morning. I'm not
Exactly,
trying
dude.
to get cheap shotted from behind and have to go into work with a bum shoulder.
And there's anyway, but and then even like wrestling too, I can't just be like, hey bros, you guys want to go to the park and do some wrestling? No,
you can,
man.
but
You can.
Finding people that are down for that is probably
exactly
slim.
Very, very slim. But anyway, awesome, dude. So you so after you did junior hockey, what was next?
So I wanted to come back to Colorado. So traveling around the country was great, but Colorado is the best state out there. So I wanted to come back and I wanted to go to school. So that's where I went to UNC up in Greeley.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Go Bears.
Go
And
Bears,
then-
baby. Hey, they play the Buffs this weekend. Let's go.
They're gonna blow the
Smelling an
Buffs out,
upset.
dude. Big upset.
Yeah.
And then after that, you did go to grad school.
I did.
Correct.
Yeah. So I got my bachelor's in sport and exercise science from UNC. Once I was done there, I got my doctorate in physical therapy from the University of Pacific in Stockton, California.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
So what made you want to become a physical therapist?
Well, my mom's a physical therapist, so I got some exposure growing up. And I knew going into school I wanted to do something with athletes, whether it's athletic training, whether it's sports administration, potentially PT. I knew PT had a very long academic route, so I was like, we'll see. But once I started taking some of the movement science courses, I was in.
Yeah.
I really wanted it. So I dedicated my college career just to getting into PT school, and the rest was history.
Awesome. Is it difficult to get into PT school, or does it depend on which route you go? Really?
Yeah, it's so they want to keep the big thing about one of the big things about PT is that it has a very high employment rate.
Okay.
So they don't want to oversaturate the profession, so they
Sure.
keep applications very small. They keep class sizes very small. So the application process was lengthy, and yeah, it was tough to get in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure, especially like, there's a lot of physical therapy anywhere, right? In hospitals, in clinics, in your own
Pediatrics,
practices.
neuro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. There's a lot, so I could totally get that. So you had mentioned an incident, a certain incident that made you truly want to get into PT or become a PT. What was that?
Yeah, so I had a really nasty ankle injury in juniors. It was actually my first year of juniors right before our season started. And the thing lingered the whole season. It really affected my whole season because I didn't get proper rehab. Like, I didn't like my PT. He didn't do anything for me. It was a joke, and I felt like it really stunted my growth as an athlete. So I want to be on the flip side of that. I want to be the good PT that can help you get back to the things that you're doing, whether it be sport, whether it be daily activities of life.
Sure.
So that was a really driving force, just to be more than
be more.
Than my last PT was.
Dude, you were being more before you even knew how to be more. No, and I think we kind of talked about it a little bit. Is just the evolution of PTs and kind of where everyone's at, where physical therapists are at now, right? Because there is so much science that then that's come from this to where even when I was in high school, where it was, what did you say it was? Ultrasound, heat.
Hum job, ultrasound, heat massage, regardless of what you had going on from the 70s to probably early, mid-90s, that's kind of what PT was.
Yep.
It's significantly different now.
Way different. And
Evidence
rice,
based, yeah.
And
rice
man.
method, yeah.
I remember that's all it was. It was rest, what is it?
Rest, ice, compression, elevation, yeah.
And then everyone's like, stop doing that. Even the guy who invented rice is like, I was
get
kidding.
that off of there.
I was drunk.
Yeah. There's no science behind it.
There's zero science. I made it all up. Awesome, man. So how long did we decide you were a member at CrossFit Loveland, or you've been a member?
Yeah, so I joined the summer of 2020. So I think it was around July. It was right after I took my level 1 course.
Yep. And then you got married.
Got married.
Which 1 year, congrats.
Thanks, buddy.
You survived, and you're having a baby.
Yes. Yeah.
Baby
January 2022. Baby girl, man.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go. Do you know what day or no?
Yeah, our projected day is January 11th.
Nice,
but yeah,
dude.
we're kind of hoping for end of December.
Sure.
Deductible wise.
Yeah. Deductible wise. Dude, I love it. I love it. That's an entrepreneurial mindset right there.
Save
dude.
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then you could just right after that do another one and then get it.
You're right.
2022.
You just gotta get Audrey on board.
Yeah. You're welcome, Audrey. Awesome. So what got you into CrossFit? Because we sort of touched base on CrossFit is what's keeping chiropractors open, that's keeping physical therapists open because of the injury rate being so high. So what sort of made you step into the CrossFit world?
Yeah, so I was exposed to it in college, and growing up playing hockey, I loved the off-ice training. Not a lot of people said that, but I loved it. So it was plyometrics, it was weightlifting, it was long, steady cardio, all of it. I really appreciated it and had fun with it.
Yeah.
And when I got to college, strength training, conditioning was on your own. So I fell into this like bodybuilding routine. I didn't feel great. I could kind of feel my performance on the ice dip. And my buddy told me about CrossFit. He's like, dude, it's exactly what we were doing, growing up playing hockey. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. I went to CrossFit Eaton, just north of Greeley, and I was sold. First workout in, I was like, all right, this is where I want to be.
Do you remember what your first workout was?
He modified it for me. Granted, I'd never done it before.
Good for him.
All I can remember, I believe it was some sort of AMRAP with a 500-meter row, ring rows, a lot of posterior chain work, and then some other move. And I just remember ring rows and the rower.
Gotcha. Yeah. So do you remember what it was? 14.5. It was the open workout 14.5.
You're going to have to refresh my
It
memory.
was 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3
Mm.
of thrusters and then burpees over the bar.
Oh my
Bar
God.
facing burpees.
Bar facing, yeah.
So
Gross.
I remember because I joined like end of February, beginning of March. And yeah, I think, or end of March, sorry, because that's when like the last open workout was. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I could do front squats, I could do thrusters. I did it with 95 pounds in the warm up. I was like, this is gonna be great. Cruise through the 21, like no
Yeah.
big deal. Cruise
Yeah.
through the burpees, and then I get back on the 18, and I'm like, oh, this is not good.
You're breaking it up in singles.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
very close to singles. It
Yeah.
definitely was. And so the coach pretty much said, all right, do all the reps, but cut them all in half from
Okay.
here on out. So I was
All right.
like, all right,
Yeah.
I survived. And
Oh boy.
yeah, everyone, I was like, what's a 14.5? What does that
Yeah.
even mean? So anyway, sorry.
That's good. That's good.
I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but I always do like to share that workout.
First workout.
I just feel like I wouldn't even imagine somebody who's never done CrossFit before to come in here and make that their first workout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's the open? Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. That sounds great. Awesome. So, kind of along those same lines, as far as you wanted to become a PT, you know, what made you want to become? So you got into CrossFit. You loved what it did, how it was the off ice training.
Mhm.
What made you want to coach CrossFit?
I love working with people. You know, being on the other side of it, you know, for CrossFit, you know, it took me a long time to learn certain movements, such as toes to bar. It took me a long time to do that. But then, you know, as an athlete, like once I finally got it, that feeling was just so cool. And I would love just to turn around on the flip side and help people with that, whether it's a specific movements or whether it's a, you know, fitness and health goal, just something like that. I love helping people. I love working with people. So that's why I wanted to get into coaching.
That's awesome. Well, and I was talking to one of our members this morning, and we were actually talking about you and just how an awesome job you and, of course, Sean have been doing. But, you know, I mentioned to her, like, I didn't really get better at movements until I taught the movements, you know, because now you in a workout, when you're working out, you don't look around how people are moving. You see what they're doing, right? You see, oh, they're connecting toes to bar. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you're not breaking down what they're doing, you know. But as a coach, when you're scanning, you get to see, okay, wow, this person is like really pushing away from the bar.
Yep.
You know, this person is really kicking hard. This guy's, you know, keeping a tight kip in the bottom. So you start to see like those pieces, then you can relate those to your own movements.
Agreed.
Right. And then
100%.
once you put them to your own movements, and you're like, okay, engage this or push down.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's also the great part of coaching is it elevates your own game.
I agree.
Too.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
That's awesome. And then what is it that you want to add to CrossFit Loveland? I think CrossFit Loveland is one of the coolest gyms in all of North America. But when you came on board, you know, what is your intentions, or what are you wanting to do to help out the members here at CrossFit Loveland and people in Northern Colorado?
Yeah, I first just wanted to be part of the well-oiled machine. So, I mean, when I knew you and Wade here, you guys are awesome coaches, both in terms of how you coach and just being great people. So I just wanted to be part of that. And like I said, you know, I want the best for the members. And like I said, I have some strength and conditioning background, but I also have more of a rehab background. So I want to blend those together and just provide a different, unique approach that's still the same with what you guys are doing. But every coach is different. You know, some coaches more technical, some coaches, you know, more gymnastics based, stuff like that. So I just want to add potentially that injury prevention, functional aspect to, you know, what we're doing.
Sure. That's awesome. Well, and I think we all can benefit from that. And even if it is just educating people, you know, and I think that's what our biggest mission here is to make sure, first off, are they safe? And then second, are they learning?
Yeah.
You know, because
I agree.
It almost speaks more to see someone move better on their own than for us to make them move better by holding their hand. You know what I mean? Because like if you can step back and if you could see globally the gym is all moving well because of something you told them, like that's awesome. It doesn't have to be the prettiest, it doesn't have to be the best, but if they hit a roadblock and if they can like turn that on, like, oh, I'm supposed to engage this because Kyle said so, like that's awesome.
Agreed.
That's big. So I love that. Awesome. Well, I think I know you better now.
I think so too.
I actually think you're going to be a good coach here.
You
Okay.
think?
I
You
didn't,
think? You're not sure.
I didn't interview you, so this is kind of like our live interview. So
Yeah.
anyway, all right.
Yeah.
So we got some rapid fire questions I'm
All
going
right.
to throw your way, and unfortunately, he peeked at these because I sent him the sheet. I usually don't like to share the rapid fires before.
fine.
So anyway,
I don't remember half of them.
perfect.
So,
All right, that
yeah.
works. All right, cool. So favorite documentary.
First of all, I love documentaries.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I'm big into really the sports ones and the true crime.
Uh-huh.
So sports one that I love is Ice Guardians. It's about
Okay.
fighting in the NHL.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that one. And then I'd say all-time true crime documentary was Making a Murderer. It's really good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kinsey loves murder mysteries, bro.
They're so good.
Dude.
Audrey and I rage those.
Dude, the anxiety goes through the roof,
It's
and then
tough.
I'm just in my bed, like
You don't watch them before bed, though.
wow.
You
That's
know?
but that's the only time I get to watch.
Agreed.
it.
Agreed.
I usually,
I-
if I do anything that's even drama based and then
Yeah.
like get my heart going, I got to turn on The Office right afterwards.
Yeah.
dude.
Hey,
Just-
yeah, that's good. That's what we do.
So what is your favorite fitness product that you've ever purchased?
What's really been helping me out, it was a complete game changer, were my grips. So waddies.
Okay.
Man, I would just tear open on the bar all the time.
Sure.
It was terrible, especially being a physical therapist and working with my hands. So once
like,
I used these cheap grips from Shields for a while. They just weren't cutting it. And then I finally invested in waddies, and they've been awesome.
Out of all the grips, I liked Waddies the
Mhm.
best, because I've tried the Bear Complexes, I've
Yeah.
tried the Wad and Duns, but the Waddies just feel good, and they just form better. You
Agreed.
know what I mean?
Once they're broken in, they were super slick at first. But just like with anything, once you break them in, they were
That
money.
works. Or you could be like me and not do enough volume
Yeah.
to rip. So as soon as like I start to rip, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite non-traditional form of exercise?
Hockey.
Hockey.
For sure.
That makes
Runner
sense.
up, though, I love tennis.
Okay.
Tennis is great.
Nice.
Yeah, Audrey and
did
I'll go
not-
out and play.
I actually
So.
did not know that. So
Yeah.
when are you going to venture into pickleball?
Yeah, I would love pickleball. I've driven by
right.
those places. It looks like a blast. A
All
little
right.
less running, so yeah, sign me
Definitely
up, man.
less running. It's like life-size ping pong.
Yeah, it's great.
So what advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
Man, see, that's one of the ones I didn't remember. 20-year-old self. I would say be patient. You know, sometimes, in life you're working really hard at something. You want that instant gratification. You want it now. But if you just continue to work, eventually things will work out. Things will pay off. And not to worry about, short-term success. Think about long-term success as well.
I like that. Kind of goes back to the saying, focus on the process.
Mhm.
You can always think about what the end result's going to look like, but it might look a little different
Agreed.
by the end. I look around even the gym and the evolution of the gym. No way would I thought in 3 years ago that this was a gym that I was going to
Really?
want.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I always knew I
Good for
wanted
you,
a
dude.
nice gym, but
Mhm.
there's just these little things and what I cared about. Because at that time, shoot, I just cared about hard workouts and watching people die laying on the floor. But
Yeah.
now it's like, how are we elevating their life outside the gym? Maybe in 3 years I'll go back to watching people die. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
What does the first 60 to 90 minutes of your day look like? I know what it looks like.
What does it look like?
It looks like you dying.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's here. I mean, I get up and make my protein shake, let my dogs out, and then commute over here and grind it out for an hour.
Yep.
It's best way to start a morning.
It really is, dude.
Yeah, I love it.
I used to be a frequent 6:15er like 2 times a week or
Yeah.
6 a.m. or whatever. But dude, if you like have stomach issues or if you're just got bad sleep the night before, it's so rough, dude. It's so rough to get through the workout when there's just things happening.
I know. Well, I sometimes it takes me like half of the warm up to get dialed in, but that's what warm up's for.
Yep,
It's,
exactly.
but yeah, I think once you get in the habit of it, it's easier.
Yeah.
There's no possible way I could ever do the 5 a.m.
Those people.
Yeah, dude,
They're
that's
weird.
crazy.
They're-
Obviously a very popular class.
The most popular
Yeah.
class. I'm proud to say I've done it once,
Yeah.
and it was a super easy workout, and that's the only reason I did.
Okay.
It was super
There,
easy.
dude, there's no way.
Yeah. So, last question. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
See, I didn't know that one either. Best piece of advice I've ever been given. Comparison is the thief to happiness.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, don't compare yourself to other people either in your craft or people that are doing things that you do as well. Just focus on yourself. Focus on your goals. Focus on what you're doing. Block out all the noise. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Do what makes you happy and do what's best for you.
Nice, dude. That was phenomenal. That's how you end part one.
Boom. Mic drop.
That's it for part one. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to go through some questions that we received from our members. Stay tuned.